Sentencing of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. He'll find out in just a few hours how many years he'll spend behind bars for the murder of George Floyd. Our Alex Perez is in Minneapolis with the latest. Alex, good morning.
Hey, good morning. With this sentencing hearing, one so many across the country will be following closely, Derek Chauvin could spend decades behind bars.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Decision day for Derek Chauvin.
Are these your verdicts? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes. After a jury convicted Chauvin of killing George Floyd in April, today the former cop will learn how much time he'll spend behind bars. He was convicted on 3 counts, but under Minnesota state law, the judge will sentence him on the most serious of those charges, second-degree murder. Guidelines recommend 10 to 15 years for first-time offenders like Chauvin, but prosecutors are asking he get 30 years, which is possible after the judge determined aggravating factors in this case support a stiffer sentence. Those factors: acting with particular cruelty, abusing his position of trust and authority, and that Chauvin's deadly restraint of Floyd was carried out in front of children.
These aggravating factors actually are very important, and they really do require a stiffer sentence because someone that's held in a position of trust and authority the way he is as a law enforcement officer, it's very significant that he abused that power.
Do you swear that you'll keep these jurors together?
The judge, who's been on the bench 14 years and worked as both a prosecutor and defense attorney, will allow Chauvin to be in civilian clothes during the hearing rather than his jail jumpsuit. It's unclear if Chauvin himself or his family will address the court, but several of George Floyd's family members are expected to make victim impact statements expressing the pain this has caused their family. His brother telling GMA earlier this year the significance of Chauvin's conviction and sentencing.
Gianna, she said her dad would change the world. And I think that we will be able to cement his legacy because he did just that. He changed the world. He brought everybody across this country together for one purpose, and that was to make sure that these officers be held accountable.
And Chauvin's attorney has indicated he will ask the judge for leniency and that he be released on time served and probation. That hearing set for this afternoon. Whit.
All right, Alex, thank you. So let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on all of this. It's good to see you. Good morning to you, Dan. You know, up until this point, we have not heard from Chauvin publicly expressing remorse or addressing the Floyd family. Do we expect that he might address the court in this case?
He might. Keep in mind, he's got federal charges also pending against him. So anything he says can and will be used against him. So his lawyers are going to remind him, even if he wants to talk, even if he wants to say something, we've got to protect you both in terms of our appeal and in terms of these other federal charges. But I do think there's an opportunity for him to just get up and express remorse about the death of George Floyd. There is a way for him to get up there, express his sorrow without necessarily implicating himself further.
And as we heard in that report, Chauvin could face up to 30, 40 years even. And that's what prosecutors are asking for, the defense asking for probation. How is this likely to play out?
So the guidelines initially suggest 10 to 15 years. But the big ruling has already happened. And that is that the judge has said there are aggravating factors which allow him to go beyond that 10 to 15 year range, which suggests to me it's going to be higher than 15 years. So put aside probation. It's not happening. The reality is, I think you're talking about a likelihood of probably in the 20 to 25 year range. Prosecutors asking for 30 years. But those guidelines still matter. That 10 to 15 years as a legal matter can't be ignored because what the judge will do is evaluate how much on each of the aggravating factors to go over the range. And that's why I say that I would expect it'll probably be 20 to 25, could be as high as 30, but it's certainly not going to be, in my view, below 15.
We're almost out of time here, but the other 3 officers, quickly, how could the sentencing impact them?
Well, so remember, they're still going to be tried, and they are also facing federal charges as well. They face the exact same potential sentence as does Derek Chauvin, up to 40 years, even just for aiding and abetting.
All right, Dan Abrams, thank you so much. Much more on this. We appreciate it. We will have live coverage of Derek Chauvin's sentencing live on ABC this afternoon, starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and also streaming on ABC News Live.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.